Oh, we knew you could see us there. I was struggling there trying to get that date fixed. I noticed it. I think we had some comments. Man, we've already got some comments going today.
Yeah,
Nicole.
we do. Morning, everyone.
Who was it that said it? I got to give her a shout out to him. I'm looking on my phone here.
Justin that said, I don't think we know we can see them. And Lynn, no, it's because you didn't update the date. So when it initially went live, it still said October 27th.
Is it still? Did I not save it?
No, you didn't update it when you went live.
Oh wait.
So I updated it. We're good.
Are we good? Wait, it still says November 3rd. This is really bugging. Oh wait. The other.
It is November 3rd. You had October 27th.
There we go. Because we have two
It's fixed.
slides.
I got it fixed. We're good there.
Wow.
Guys, it's Tuesday.
I'm just laughing at all the comments. I love it. Shelly Pace. Thank you.
To remind people to go vote. If you haven't voted, go vote. Exercise your right.
That's right. You know, one thing about it, I feel like if you can't laugh at yourself, then what's the point, you know? So I'm laughing at us for our date mishap.
At us?
Struggles. You fixed the slides. I'm not taking blame for that. I tried to resolve it, and then we're a hot mess, people.
I didn't know if he was talking about that or when you sent the actual live out, the title on it, you left October 27th. So I had accidentally put November 2nd on the slide, but I think you had the wrong date on that.
Okay. I'm reading Man,
Justin,
Sheila's coming out throwing punches today. Sheila, she's mad
yes.
about drainage. Come on, Sheila, give us some love. Come on, I'm gonna cry now. No, not really. No, we appreciate the feedback. It's good to know. All right, who we got here? Wow.
37 people. So guys, we kind of got out of the practice of doing our live, but I feel like we're working on getting back into like the flow of being live and giving updates out every week. I know a lot of our departments are getting back in the flow of sharing all of this stuff with us so we can get those updates out to y'all.
Justin, how many marketing people does it take to get the date right? Wow.
Justin throwing punches. Justin, I'm going to call you after the live. It's cool.
The struggle's real over here in communications and marketing, but we're having a good time with it. All right. Where we got going?
We're going to get started.
Yeah. Whoa, see, I can't even work everything. Here we go. There we go. Woo! All right. Resources.
Sweet. So we'll get it started. So guys, I actually updated the slide so it now does show that we are an agency on Nextdoor as well. But as far as websites, we have the city website, which is weatherfordtx.gov. Guys, there's going to be a new look to the website in a couple of months. We're in process of kind of streamlining that and going through all of that stuff. So that'll be really exciting. So check it out. It's your one-stop shop. We've got all of the live meetings, agendas, updated information about upcoming stuff, questions on any services or anything that the city offers. You can find it on the website. Of course, we have our city-run tourism website, which is experienceweatherford.com. And I want to give a shout out to everyone who's been putting their events on there, everyone who's been updating their business listing. The chamber has been really supportive and helpful with Experience Weatherford, and I know some of them are watching, so shout out to those ladies. And then we have our economic development website, which is chooseweatherford.com. So when businesses are looking at coming here, which we'll talk about in a little bit, that's the website that they go to. It helps them find land, helps them know different resources, information about the ISDs and the hospital district and all of that fun stuff that businesses want to know before they come here and bring their employees here. Of course, we also have our downtown website, heritagesquareweatherford.com, which will be updated as the project goes along. We are all on all major social media. So we're on Facebook at Weatherford, Texas. On Instagram, we are City of Weatherford. On Twitter, we are City Weatherford. On YouTube, we are Weatherford, which that's kind of like a holding spot for a lot of our video projects. And then, of course, we are an agency on Nextdoor. Now, side note about Nextdoor. We can push out information on emergency situations, outages, remind people about like our outdoor warning siren test, which we're doing tomorrow, weather permitting at 1 p.m. But we can't respond. So if there's a comment going on or a conversation about a city and a neighborhood conversation, we can't respond back unless our private pages, like our private profiles, have been accepted into those neighborhoods. So if you guys have any questions or concerns, you can always reach out through our Instagram, through our Facebook, through our website, through Facebook, whatever it is. We try to get back to you guys. But we cannot reply back to comments from inside like communities on Nextdoor. We can only reply to people who comment on our stuff.
All right, then of course we have an awesome, and what makes it awesome is it's free, everyone. The My Weatherford mobile app. This is downloadable at the App Store or by going to Google Play, depending on what type of mobile device that you own or have. And you can actually pay your utility bill. You can access our tourism and destination website, get a listing of events that are taking place for quality of life programs. Just a really a great resource that you can download for free. You can also look at our GIS mapping system to look up water lines, electrical, just about anything on the GIS mapping system, school district zones. It's a cool mobile app. You can also put in a 311 request. Maybe it's a downed limb. Take a picture, submit a service request to us, and we can get that off the trailway if there's a downed limb, potholes, things of that nature. Let us know. We typically respond within 24 to 48 hours. And from what I've seen, Nicole, it's been less than 24 hours that we typically respond to those service requests.
Yeah, I know that. I never want to say that it's going to be 24 to 48 hours because if they put something in at like 11:59 on a Friday,
Yep.
It could be a little bit wrong, but on average, we have a really fast response time on all of those things.
Yeah.
It's Municipal Court Week. I just wanted to give a little shout out to our municipal court here at City Hall, these hardworking ladies and gentlemen. And fun fact, did you know that in the state of Texas, more people interact with and go to municipal courts than all other court types in the state? So I think it's really cool. They handle a lot of stuff for us. They do a great job. They walk people through the whole process of anything that they're dealing with. So it's just kind of a moment to like let them shine and give them a spotlight.
And Nicole, you made you posted it to our social media channels yesterday, I believe. But it's cool. Coloring book or coloring pages. Activity book. You've got a word search, a maze.
A maze and then a couple coloring. Well, and so we'll share a couple other facts about municipal courts throughout the week. I think it's just something unique, and it's something that we've gotten questions about, like what type of cases they hold, how many municipal courts are there in the state. So it's kind of a time for us to be able to like inform you guys on one of our departments, which I never want to miss an opportunity to like put the spotlight on any of our departments. So I figured, why not? It's a great time for people to get to know a little bit about what they're doing.
All right, then we have another mobile app. This is tied to our Experience Weatherford tourism brand. This is the Weatherford Eats free mobile app. You can download that, again, at Google Play or the App Store. And basically, it allows our local restaurants to go in and update their specific pages, especially with the pandemic. They've had curbside pickup, delivery options. So the restaurants have been kind of changing their operation due to the pandemic, and all of that information is located on the Weatherford Eats mobile app. And one thing that I think is cool about it is, even though I'm here in Weatherford every day, just like the rest of you, I often forget like what restaurants we have, and I go to the mobile app and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that restaurant. So we have so many, it's just hard to keep track. So it's a good free tool that you can use. And the neat part is that the restaurants are actually talking directly to you when they update their pages. Nicole, do you have this mobile app?
I do. I use it all the time. It's interesting when like you're gonna go have dinner with someone. Everyone's always like, oh, whatever you want. But then you always inevitably everyone goes through the same conversation of, oh, I don't want that. I don't want that. So it's always easy to be like, let's narrow it down by food type.
Yep.
And then
you can do that. You
filter out by that. So I think it's pretty cool. And I really do like that it puts it in like the business's hands to be able to update their own information on it. I don't feel like a whole lot of cities or tourism has that opportunity where they can update their own listing with information. I know we have a couple restaurants here in town that update their food pictures quite frequently. And when they have like big specials or big events going on, they add that to their business listing, which is pretty cool.
Okay, Nicole, favorite food, go.
Oh.
I'm putting you on the spot. You gotta have fun.
I'm like really like a popsicle or ice cream person. Like I'm like even when especially when it's cold, which I know is weird, but I inherited that from my mom. Shout out to my mom who's watching.
So if you were stranded on a desert island and you had one food option, it would be ice cream.
No, I'd probably be popsicles.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or fruit. I mean, either or.
Now
you have to answer the question.
Pizza. I mean, come on. No brainer.
Hey. Have to ask.
All right. Oh, you're up.
Rumor control. Okay. So at the start of every show, if this is your first time watching, when we do economic development, we talk about the different businesses that we hear people talking about that are coming, that there's no official paperwork. They haven't talked to the city or nothing. Like there is no proof that they're coming. There's no permits applied. They haven't actually bought a building and got permits to either build or renovate. So no Red Lobster at this time. However, if there's a business you guys want to see come to town, the easiest thing you can do is reach out to their corporate or their owner. So if it's a smaller thing, like we get a lot of Babes and Heim Barbecue, the best thing you can do is reach out to their owners. A lot of corporates have a corporate office you can call. What that's going to do is it's going to show them that there's a want or a need in our area. And then they will reach out to either Development and Neighborhood Services, or they will reach out to Economic Development, and we can start the talks on getting them here. So that's the best thing you guys can do to help us, because we're always reaching out to businesses and always trying to bring people and businesses to town. It's kind of the need, which Blake will go in a little bit more in detail, of cities to just continue to bring that lifestyle that everyone wants, which is to have places to eat and have places to shop and things to do in town. But if there's a certain thing, you guys reach out to them. And shout out to all of the community groups that I'm in on Facebook, because that's where I got all of our rumor control items for today.
All right, so let's talk economic development. Who wants to talk economic development?
I'm gonna let you get this one.
Economic development. Here we go. I've got you on. You want me to hide you?
No, it's okay. If you don't want to, you don't have to.
Well, you know, everybody likes to see Nicole. We got to get you on camera. So economic development, if you look at the slides in front of you, so what we know here in Weatherford, or here at the city of Weatherford, is that we have two trade areas: our primary trade area, number one, and number two, our secondary trade area. So all this data is collected through cell phone usage. And basically, we can tell exactly the number of people and where they're coming from to participate in commerce within the city limits of Weatherford. So our primary trade area includes 190,000 people based on the zone, and that means they shop 3 to 5 times per week. And then we have our secondary trade area, which is 360,000 people, and they typically participate in commerce 1 to 2 times a week or a couple of times per month. So what does that look like on a map? So this is a primary trade area, and this goes to the east over by Loop 820 toward over in Tarrant County next to Fort Worth, and then it goes to the west as far out as Long Camp area. It goes up to the north, Poolville area, and to the south down to Crescent area, headed towards Cleburne, but it doesn't go quite that far down to Cleburne. And then our secondary trade area looks like this on a map. It goes a little bit further inside Loop 820 to the east, out to the west by Cisco. To the north, it goes all the way up to Graham, and all the way to the south towards Stephenville area. Hey, Nicole, I think you updated the maps for me.
I did. I pulled them out. I think we had people ask if they could see edge to edge on the map. So even though now it's more zoomed out, I figured it gave them the whole view of it.
I didn't even know I was talking.
And you know what we haven't talked about in the last few shows that we've done on economic development is that they get this data from like cell phones and car GPSs and stuff.
Correct. So even though you may have, GPS turned off, that data is still accessible through certain companies, and then they work with different not just municipalities, but they work with other companies, and so that data is out there, and it allows us to see who's participating in commerce. So used to, the old way of doing it is that companies would actually sit in a parking lot and take pictures of license plates, and then they would look at that data and determine where those cars were coming from. So it gave an idea of what people were participating in commerce within our city limits. So there's new ways of doing it with mobile devices.
Yeah. I'm going to let you take the next slide.
All right. Let me get you. Oh, no. No, you got to do the rumor control voice.
No,
that's your thing.
I'm sure people want to hear you try it.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
Rumor control.
It was great.
It was great. Kind of a radio voice? Okay.
That was great.
No saltgrass, which this makes me sad because I love a good steak from saltgrass. So good. But this is a rumor. We're not getting a saltgrass. And while we're on this subject of why are they not coming, let's talk about that in regard to economic development. I'm going to bring up this slide again. So keep in mind that it's a free market. So the city of Weatherford does not call up a business and say, hey, you have to come to Weatherford. We want you here. Basically, it's up to you all, the citizens, and not just the citizens, but we could do it. We do it too. We talk to companies and say, hey, have you looked at our community? We have great land availability to kind of attract them here if we think that they might be a good fit. But it's a free market. And just like buying a home, you can buy whatever home you like or whatever land that you would like. Businesses do the same thing, and they ultimately determine what's best for their business because it is a free market. We often get asked, well, why aren't you having businesses develop to the north end of town? It's not really our call. We do have commercial zones, residential zones. So within those commercial zones, a business can pick and choose kind of what area is best for them and based on what land they acquire. So keep in mind, we don't really dictate a business as far as going into the north or along Interstate 20.
Well, Blake, I like how you used to say that, like, people don't apply to live in a city.
Yeah.
Businesses don't have to technically they don't have to apply to do business somewhere.
Correct.
We just decide whether it's residential or commercial, and we help them with their permitting to make sure the businesses are safe, go through fire inspection and all of that stuff.
Yeah, that's correct. And so that leads to the second question that Nicole and I often get asked is, well, why are we trying to make Weatherford become a large city like Houston or Dallas or Fort Worth? Keep in mind that growth is naturally occurring. So people are moving to this area. You look at areas, Weatherford's booming. You've got Hudson Oaks, Aledo, Brock, all those areas are not only growing with residential development, but with commercial development. And what that means is businesses follow where growth is located. So if you look at Dallas Fort Worth, it's kind of we're that last spoke in the wheel. That's what our city manager often says. We're that last spoke. So growth has occurred to the north, to the east, to the south, and we're kind of that last spoke to the west, and it's moving out this direction. And I often say, people ask, well, why are we trying to make it grow? It's not the case. I have never had to apply to a town to live there. I just up and move if I want to move to that community. And that's what's happening. People are moving to the area. Weatherford's a great community. You all make it a great community, and businesses want to be a part of that. And that's why you're seeing the growth. Again, it's a free market for businesses to come here as well.
Yeah.
All right.
So it should be applications for permits and ongoing projects. Shout out to Leiden over at Development Neighborhood Services for helping with all of our updates we share. Guys, Texas Roadhouse, which I think is where the different steakhouse rumors are coming from, because people know we're getting a Texas Roadhouse. That's going to be at 201 West I-20. Their commercial permit is issued. I know they've got some development going on over there. That is over by the hospital, not hospitals, wow, hotels across from over by Home Depot, Academy area. Then we have Blue Beacon, which is at 1712 Banks, which their commercial permit was issued. And I know that I saw a lot of rumors about this weekend in a lot of the group chats. That is Blue Beacon. They are moving from off Santa Fe by Antonio's down to a more accessible and larger space that is easier for the trucks to get in and out of. We've got Murphy Oil at 1112 Fort Worth Highway. Final inspections. I did see that they were moving a lot of stuff in when I went by the other night, so that's pretty great. Storehouse Storage, which is at 917 West I-20. We've gotten a lot of questions about this one. It is a storage place. Their commercial permit has been issued. We also have Safekeeping Self-Storage at 445 North Rick Williamson. Their commercial permit was also issued. Weatherford College Edition at 225 College Park Drive. Their site development permit has been issued. You guys can drive by and see that progress as it is going on. Pirate Falls Auto Spa at 701 Fort Worth Highway. They have their tenant improvement issued, so y'all will start to see a lot more happening on not only the inside but the outside of that building moving forward. Edgewise 8 Brewing at 221 North Main Street. Guys, this is that white building on the side. They've got a big sign out front. I know a lot of people have been talking in a lot of the community groups and on Facebook. You can see all the different equipment coming in. They're pretty close. They've made a lot of the changes. I'm really excited to see them open. And I think they announced the other day that they partnered with a food group to also be there with some food options as well.
They did. If you haven't had a chance to meet the owner, Barney, they also own I'm on Clippers,
Blades and Clippers.
Clippers and Blades.
Yeah,
it's actually where I get my haircut at. So it's a good place. And then Barney, who owns that with his wife, they own Edgewise 8 Brewing as well. He's a great guy if you ever get a chance to meet him.
Yeah. And then we've got Finn's Bar and Grill at 810 South Main Street. We had a lot of questions about this. This is where Saltwater used to be, so they've got their tenant improvement issued, so they should be up and running sometime soon-ish, as soon as their improvements are done. And then also we wanted to let people know about the different vendor and food truck permits that were recently issued. So Tailgaters Barbecue, DeCaro, Flame Grill, T&D BBQ, and then Ironworks Coffee.
I've seen DeCarbo actually driving around the community the last few weeks, so they're out and about. So that's cool to see them.
Yeah, I've seen them. I've seen flames pop up at a lot of stuff, which is kind of exciting, guys. You can also find a lot of these when we do the food truck lounge nights over at Heritage Park Food Truck. So you guys check that out. Parks always puts on those great events.
Other projects, zoning regulations been updated. The city council adopted a tree and landscape manual on the 25th of August. Additionally, a new zoning district map was adopted and is available on the city's website. So that's at weatherfordtx.gov. Be sure to go there when we're not live on social media, and you can always see that information and access that. Subdivision regulations update. Looks like city staff presented an update to the subdivision regulations on October 27th at City Council, and then code compliance. Just reminding everyone, which we're getting into we're in fall, getting close to winter. Speaking of, are you a big fan of winter, Nicole?
I like cold weather. I mean, I don't mind the heat. I was born here. I'm used to it.
No,
I really like. There's something about walking out. I mean, obviously, I want perfect weather, but there's something about walking outside when it's cold that just like puts an extra spring in your step.
Yeah, no, I like cold weather too. I think in Texas it's like a wet cold, but when you go to places like like a dry cold, it's a lot. I can handle that a lot better. Yeah. It's the wet cold in Texas. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I feel like some days we have more dry cold than wet cold, but
yeah, I get. I don't know. We're gonna agree to disagree on that.
Agree to disagree.
All right, here we go.
We just wanted to remind people because we know that we've gotten a lot of questions about these things, even more so recently. So not only the keeping the grass and weeds, but it's also the garage sale signs.
Yes. And typically you talk about garage sale signs. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So we've gotten a ton of questions recently. So you're limited to 2 signs per property. They cannot be exceeding the size of 2 square feet each. They have to actually be on the property that the garage sale is taking place. And just a quick side note, garage sale is a garage, a yard, a driveway, a cul-de-sac. Any of those are all under the terms of garage sale when we're talking about this. And any residential person property can have up to 2 garage sales a year. All of this can be found in chapter 5, section 12 of our city ordinance, which is available on both My Weatherford and the city website. And then you can have no more than 4 directional size signs, which also cannot be larger than 2 square feet, and those have to be on private property. You cannot put those on commercial property. You cannot attach those to utility poles. You cannot attach those to stop signs and stuff. We've gotten a lot of questions. These rules have been in place for a long time. We just didn't necessarily have the personnel to maintain them. However, with people leaving them out, we now have the personnel who can go around and pick them up. We are enforcing these rules now. Also, along roadways, they have to be a certain distance from the road or they will be picked up by code compliance. You can put them out 24 hours before the sale, and they have to be picked up within 24 hours of the completion of the sale. And then you can have your sale can run 3 days. So you can have it Friday through Sunday. So it means you can put your signs out Thursday. But take advantage of all those community groups. I mean, I know I'm in like 14 or 15, and I know there's new ones created all the time. Take advantage of those. Use social media to market the fact that you have a garage sale going on. Use Nextdoor, all of that good stuff to promote them. And then we also wanted to remind people now that we're out of boating season for most people and we're into RVing, or I guess out of RVing for some people, that they do have to be stored or parked on impervious surfaces, and they cannot be stored in your front yard.
Yeah, on the garage sale thing, I don't know, like I'm more apt to go to a garage sale if I see it on social media, because they'll post, like I like when people post pictures of what they're selling, because then I'm like, yeah, I want to go to that garage sale or something, you know?
Yeah.
And those are cool.
It's super disappointing because I know I've done it more times than I can count, even before I worked for the city, where you'll see a garage sale sign and you'll go pull up and then like there is no garage sale because they had left it out from a while. I know. Which is nice that now when I drive around and I see them, I know if I go to that garage sale, it's more than likely going to be taking place at the time.
Yeah. But I like advertising on social media because I can like see it before I go, like rather than just seeing a sign, because you don't know what you're going to get if you just see a sign. So I don't know.
It's a little bit more up close and personal than doing the
Yeah.
slow drive by to see what they're offering.
like creepily, like
Did you see that Lori said go to Alaska if you want dry cold?
That's the thing. I love snow. That's okay. Here's my thing. Okay, so I'm getting on a tangent, I guess, but like in summer we have outdoor activities we could do in Texas, but in winter there's no snow for like winter sports or activities, and so it's just cold. It's a Debbie Downer to me, Nicole.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like bundle up, take some hot tea with you, or coffee, or hot cocoa.
Yeah, if we had snow, how do we make that happen? I wonder. I don't think that's possible, is it? Although Holiday in the Park brings in, fake snow, so that's always fun.
Yeah, and like the ice skating and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just go to Holiday in the Park. Problem solved. Silent plug for Holiday in the Park coming up in December.
More information to follow.
Okay,
right. Next one. I guess I'll cover the next slide.
All right.
Rumor control. No Buc-ee's at this time. So, Buc-ee's and In-N-Out were actually the two businesses that started rumor control for us to begin with. No Buc-ee's at this time. They were looking in the general area, but like Blake was talking about, we can't force a business to come. If they change their mind. And I know I saw a lot of people commenting that the city told them we don't want them there. So I am going to take a quick second to address that. We don't tell businesses we don't want them here. That's not the mind. We would have loved to have Buc-ee's a lot of times. And you can see a lot of other cities post about it too, because more cities are talking about it now than I think used to. When it comes to economic development, the issue that you have is that sometimes when landowners find out that there's a specific business or a business looking at buying their land, they hike the prices to where it's out of the price range for that business to be able to develop and have their business there. Or you end up with, I know that some other cities, we haven't personally experienced it at that level, but I know some other cities in the Metroplex have had it leaked that there was a certain business wanting to come in, and then a bunch of businesses, residents put out petitions to try to block those businesses from coming. And what that does is it makes other businesses not necessarily want to look at that city. It makes it feel like an unwelcome place for development or for businesses to come into. So guys, I promise we share when businesses are coming. No Buc-ee's at this time. If you guys want to see them here, reach out to them, let them know. The worst you hear is that nothing happens from you reaching out to a business after you tell them we want them there.
And I think this is like a good topic to talk about, Nicole, that what you were referring to. So from our position here at the city of Weatherford, nothing is really concrete until that first permit application is put in writing. It goes to our planning department, and then we know that they're getting ready to break ground and start something. So everything up until that point is rumor to us. So we actually can help them. They can go to chooseweatherford.com to get information about land availability, more about our community utilities, because they are dependent on having appropriate infrastructure if they are looking to locate in Weatherford, and we have to explain to them what types of infrastructure we do have from a city perspective. So we assist in that fashion, but everything is rumor to us until we know it's on paper that they're getting ready to develop the land. And mainly it's rumor to us because we're not going to tell you all, hey, Buc-ee's is coming, and then they decide not to. So we're very black and white on our end. So please be patient with us as we work through economic development from year to year. Buc-ee's did reach out to us. They did look at some land here in Weatherford, but none of that came to fruition. Now, had we have come on this live show and said, hey, Buc-ee's is coming, and then they didn't, you all would be disappointed. So keep in mind that for us, it's black and white. So you're going to hear rumors out there. For all we know, you may know a developer that builds a Taco Bell, or I'm just bringing up business. And you talk to them and they say, they're talking about Weatherford, but to us, we don't really advertise it until we know for certain. So just I hope that explains our position here with the city of Weatherford. We don't say anything until it's more concrete.
Yeah, we'd rather be a little bit more cautious on telling people, because all the time it happens all the time that a business changes their mind or funding doesn't come through. I mean, there's even times we talk about a business and then something happens, like especially with COVID, we talked about there was a few businesses that were going to come to town. They had all the permits issued. They were in the process of stuff. And then COVID happened and they can't afford to open that new location. So
and that's a like what Nicole's saying, that's a rare thing. I mean, it's not every year we have a pandemic. I mean, the last pandemic was what, 1918? So it's been an odd year. So the norm, until we get that permit, we can say something. But I know I often get asked, well, why don't you talk about it? Why don't you reveal who you're talking to? It's not a matter of revealing. It's just a matter of until we get that permit, we're not going to say anything because we're not going to spread false information until we know for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next slides.
All right, current non-residential projects. So this would be all the commercial projects across the city limits of Weatherford. And I like this map. I know you can't really read that grid. It's a little small. It's too small to read on your screen, I know. But this kind of gives you an idea of all of the commercial projects that are taking place across Weatherford. And then this next one is residential projects. So this is housing. And this is all of the housing projects that are taking place across the city limits. So by just looking at that, that's kind of a snapshot to show you a lot of growth is taking place. And I like this map because, Nicole, I'll drive around and I'll be like, man, nothing's happened for a while. But actually, there's a lot going on. We just don't realize it, especially those housing projects that could be tucked away in different parts of the community.
And if people want to see the full scale size of these maps, they are available on our website where you can open up a PDF and actually read the chart, like zoom in on it more if you want. Development and DNS. So our development neighborhood projects, guys, they're updating this. Ignore, again, I didn't do a new screen grab because I just didn't. But they're updating like what's been recently approved, what's under construction, and the subdivisions on their website. So if you go to weatherfordtx.gov, go under departments, and then it'll be under the development neighborhood under planning. It's right there. It's super easy. You just click among, like if you want to see recently approved, leave it there. If you want to see what's under construction, you click where it says under construction. It takes you there. And they are updating that so you guys can see what's going on at any given time permit wise in the city of Weatherford.
And that's all we have for today. At this time, we typically try to answer any questions, but I'm not seeing any. Let me bring our smiling faces back up. All right. Today's the last day to vote, and not just for presidential. There's lots of other elections taking place as well, so go out and vote if you can. And then we will be here again next Tuesday, right? We will be, right? Yeah, next Tuesday.
And next Tuesday is department updates and events. And we've got some really cool stuff to share with everyone next week, too.
Exciting. All right. Well, I think we're done for today, right, Nicole?
We are
anything
done.
Else?
Nope.
I see a construction hat. You been out working? You been building some stuff out there? I see
I have to wear a construction or a hard hat anytime I go and like on site and meet with water, electric, streets, sanitary. They all, I mean, obviously it's a safety thing. So I have a construction hat because when I used to go out with them, they would offer me whatever free hat they had on their trucks. I didn't like it. So shout out to Manny. Official. Manny got me a nice clean hat that I use all the time.
Well, you can't. Okay, the other day you were teasing me because my hat, I've never had to use my hat because you typically go out and take
I use it a lot, yeah.
Yeah. So it's got to be a little bit dirty. There you go. So official. So
yeah, it's got makeup on the inside of it, so ignore that.
All right. Hey, thanks, Councilwoman Wilder. Good to see you.
Thank you, Chamber ladies.
Yes, thank you all as well, and we will see you all next week. Take care in the meantime.
Absolutely.